What if I told you that October isn't just about pumpkin spice lattes and cute costumes? What if I told you that for some people, October became the month that haunted their nightmares forever? Today, I'm sharing 3 absolutely terrifying true stories that all happened during the spookiest month of the year. And trust me, after hearing these, you might never look at Halloween season the same way again. So grab your blanket, lock your doors, and let's dive into some real-life horror that'll make your favorite scary movie look like a Disney film. Story number 1. Picture this. You're working a seasonal job at Party City during Halloween rush. It's 2016. The store's packed with costume-hungry customers, and you're just trying to make some extra cash. Sounds normal enough, right? Well, for our storyteller, what started as a typical night shift turned into something straight out of a horror movie. It's past 10 p.m. The Halloween rush has died down, and there are only 4 employees left in the store. Our protagonist is doing the unglamorous job of hauling costume boxes from the basement to the storage room upstairs. You know, the kind of job that makes you question your life choices. But here's where things get weird. The basement lights had been turned off. No big deal, right? Just flip them back on and get back to work. Except when he's down there grabbing boxes, he hears something fall on the other side of the basement. So he peeks around the shelf, and there's someone there. A figure in a white hooded robe with a scary monster mask, just standing there, like some twisted game of basement hide and seek. Now, working retail during Halloween, you'd think, oh, it's just a coworker pranking me. But this person was too tall to be Ashley, the supervisor. Had to be Kyle, right? Wrong. When our storyteller tries to approach this mysterious figure, they back away. And that's when he notices the boots. Dirty, heavy work boots that Kyle definitely wasn't wearing. That's when the shivers started. He rushes upstairs, finds Ashley and asks where Kyle is. Kyle calls out from a nearby aisle. Kyle, who was supposed to be the person in the basement. So they all go back down to investigate and, surprise, surprise, the intruder is gone. Security footage shows no one entering except our protagonist. But here's the kicker. There was no camera in the basement itself. Against his better judgment, he goes back down to finish the job. And just as he's about to call it a night, he hears the crinkle of a plastic bag. He decides he's not getting paid enough to investigate alone. But as he's about to turn off the basement lights, he looks down the staircase one more time. And there he is again, the figure in the white robe, but this time without the mask. A man's face, smiling, looking right up at him. Door slammed, employees called, but when they got there, the back exit was wide open, and the intruder had vanished into the night. But wait, you thought a creepy basement stalker was bad? Oh, we're just getting started. Because sometimes the real monsters aren't hiding in store basements. They're hiding in your own backyard. Story number 2. October 2016 again. But this story takes us back to childhood. You know what October meant: raking leaves, jumping in piles, and pretending to be WWE wrestlers with your friends. innocent times, or so you'd think. Our storyteller is about 10 or 11 years old, living in a corner house with a huge yard perfect for leaf pile wrestling matches. Dead-end street, minimal neighbors, maximum fun. What could go wrong? After an afternoon of epic leaf battles, the kids go inside for snacks and video games. But as any kid knows, one round of leaf wrestling is never enough. So, back outside they go for a nighttime triple threat match. But something's off. The leaf pile is smaller, way smaller, like someone had been rearranging things. While rebuilding their wrestling arena, one of the friends notices a long, oddly shaped pile they hadn't made, and when they try to rake it over, it won't budge. There's something under the leaves. 3 kids, one mysterious lump, and the courage that only comes from peer pressure. They start brushing away the leaves, and there's a body, a grown man hiding underneath their leaf pile. But plot twist, it's fake, just a hollow dummy, some kind of prank. But the question remains, who put it there? That question gets answered real quick when they spot someone hiding in the bushes. A man, around 60 years old, bulging eyes, crooked teeth, breathing heavily like he just ran a marathon. And here's what he says, and I quote, "He planted the fake body because he always watches them play in the leaves and thought it would be funny." Always watches them. Now, any normal kid would nope right out of there, which is exactly what our storyteller did. Dad gets involved, checks outside, but the creepy neighbor has already cleaned up his prank. But this story doesn't end there. Later that night, our storyteller is in his room, window open for the October breeze, when he hears a man's voice at his window. "I didn't mean to creep you out earlier. I live in the house across the street. I like watching you kids play in the leaves." And then this man, this same creepy neighbor, tries to climb through the bedroom window. He's actually reaching for a child through their bedroom window. Dad called, police involved, and turns out their harmless neighbor was high on crystal meth, living in a house that looked like an episode of Hoarders. All those years, they had no idea they were being watched by a predator living right across the street. Okay, so we've covered workplace stalkers and neighborhood predators. But what happens when your romantic October date turns into a scene from a slasher film? Well, buckle up, because our final story is about to make you never want to go apple picking again. Story number 3. October romance. There's something magical about it, right? Apple picking, fall leaves, cozy sweaters. The perfect setting for a cute date. Unless you accidentally stumble onto the property of a missing murderer. Our storyteller is planning the perfect October date with a girl named Nikki. Apple picking seemed like the obvious choice. Wholesome, seasonal, Instagram-worthy. What could possibly go wrong? They're driving to their chosen orchard when they pass what looks like another apple-picking spot. No cars, no people, no payment stand. Just an abandoned-looking farm with apple trees. Red flag number 1. ignored. The official orchard they planned to visit also closed. So our protagonist suggests they go back to that first sketchy-looking place. We'll have the whole place to ourselves. Famous last words. They park by the woods, hop a wooden fence, and start their romantic apple-picking adventure. Everything's going great until our storyteller starts playfully throwing apples. Nikki runs off through the trees and she disappears. Where are you? No answer. Just apples being thrown from somewhere in the rows of trees. But here's the thing. Nikki wasn't the one throwing them. As he's searching for her, our storyteller comes face to face with a young man, maybe 18 or 19. Long black hair, standing motionless between the apple trees with a slight smirk on his face. Phone call from Nikki. She's panicking. Says there's a creepy guy following her around. Won't talk. Looks like he wants to hurt her. Pause. Same description. Same guy. They meet back at the car, but their nightmare isn't over. There he is again, half hidden behind an apple tree, just watching them, like a predator studying its prey. They speed away, but curiosity gets the better of them. They stop at a roadside fruit stand and ask about the abandoned orchard. Pause for effect. The workers' faces go white. Nobody should ever go near there. The owner's son had killed his girlfriend. Her body was found in the forest near the orchard. The son? Still missing. And when our storyteller describes the young man they encountered, the workers confirm their worst fears. They may have just come face to face with a missing murderer. So there you have it. 3 true October horror stories that prove sometimes reality is scarier than fiction. A basement stalker, a neighborhood predator, and a potential murderer hiding in an apple orchard. These aren't made-up campfire stories or urban legends. These are real experiences that happen to real people during what's supposed to be the most fun month of the year. Makes you wonder what other horrors are hiding behind the Halloween decorations and pumpkin displays. If you made it through all 3 stories without checking your locks, you're braver than me. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you ever had a terrifying October experience? And if you want more spine-chilling true stories, smash that subscribe button. Because trust me, I've got plenty more where these came from. Sweet dreams, and maybe keep your windows locked this October. You never know who might be watching from the shadows.